In the Quran, there's a chapter called Al-Rahman, the Merciful, which is also one of the names of God, as many of us know. And in that chapter, Allah reminds all of humanity that everything in this universe has been created in balance. And we see that when you look at the world, you look at the nature around us. Now, we pave over most of our nature, and we cover it up with buildings, and we cover it up with concrete. But if we ever get the time to go out into nature and really smell the air and be a part of that nature, you can see the balance. It doesn't take a lot of study. And one of the commands that's in that verse, in that chapter of Rahman, is the command that we do not lose the balance. That everything has been created in balance, so do not lose the balance. And it sounds easier. We often talk about our various faith communities and this idea that we're always trying to find the middle path of balance in our lives. But if you think about the metaphor of keeping balance, imagine if you took that knife that's on your table right now, and you put that knife on the tip of your finger. Think if you could balance that knife. By the time you get it in the right position, the handle might be a little thicker than the blade, so you might need to move it a little off-center. So visually, it might not look balanced. But it might mean that it looks off-center, but it's actually balanced on your finger. And you could probably get pretty good, and I'm sure some of you are just dying to try this right now. Don't be shy. Just make sure it doesn't fall in the lap of the person next to you. But we could probably get very good at balancing that knife if we were alone in our houses, and we were alone in our mosques, and our synagogues, and our temples, and our gurdwaras. We could probably sit there with our knife on our finger and feel pretty proud of ourselves that we've managed to find the balance. Then we need to stand up with that knife and see if we can walk across the prayer hall, or across the temple, the gurdwara. And we might be able to get pretty good at doing that as well. But think of the metaphor. Carry that metaphor and carry that knife on the tip of your finger and balanced with all of your spiritual superiority and self-righteousness, and see if you could open the door and walk out into the street with that knife balanced on the tip of your finger. Suddenly you'd be dealing with the elements of nature around you. You'd be dealing with the wind and the rain and the snow and the sleet. You might be dealing with other people who maybe are trying to walk around with their own knives on their own fingers and walking around trying to be so balanced in the way they live their lives but bumping into each other. And balancing that knife will become a constant test in our lives always, something that we will always have to be practicing and working hard to do, because balance is not something that you do once and keep for the rest of your life. Balance is something that you constantly have to be adjusting to the world that is around you and going on around you. And I think, to me, I know the metaphor might seem a little kooky, but to me that's what a gathering like this is all about. That's what Ramadan is all about. That's what this tour that we've been on with Human Appeal is all about, is trying to find that balance. And to remember that if we keep that balance in our own little bubble, and we think that we're just wonderful, because we've got the knife and we've got that balance on the tip of our finger, we're fooling ourselves, because oftentimes it's those people that sit in their bubbles with the balance on the tip of their finger saying, MashaAllah, all good is from God, that are actually causing the rest of the imbalance in the other parts of the world. And as we come here together tonight to think about this month of Ramadan that's coming, and we think about trying to keep balance in our own lives as practicing Christians and Jews and Muslims and Sikhs, or people of maybe no faith tradition, but people of heart and of humanity, let's just keep in mind that that balance is something that we need to work on together, respecting each other's desire and quest to keep that balance, inshallah. And that's what we're trying to do with people around the world. It's also interesting to note that in the Quran, the constant reminder of praying is always there, but there's no specific details on how to actually make our daily prayers. Yet the command of don't lose the balance is clear-cut, and it's a very important place for us to begin. Before I invite my friend to come up and join me, I'd like to just share a little song with you, something I call the letter. You don't know me, but I'm your brother on this land. You'll never know my name, never know exactly where I am, but I'm a part of you, you're a part of me too. One life saved is like all mankind. Sometimes I wonder about the people in the world. So much wealth, so many fists so tightly curled. Enough for you should be enough for two. One life lost is like all mankind, and you don't see the look of hate in soldiers' eyes, and you don't hear my sister cry at night, and you don't smell the garbage in the street, and you don't know how very little food we eat. Not a thing belongs to you or me, it's all a trust from divine rich bounty, and the tree of greed starts from a seed that's planted when we don't give. Do you know how it feels to walk for days? Do you know how it feels to sleep in snow? Do you know what it really means to pray? Can you tell me why they took my dad away? I don't mean to seem bold or to seem rude. I'm not begging for your shelter or your food. I'm just asking you to care and to be aware, and at the very least think of me. Peace be with you. Signed, your brother of this land. Thank you so much. Thank you. Please welcome me and joining a very, very dear friend, my best friend and soulmate in the world. Well, except for my wife, of course. The first time our wives joined us on tour and saw us from the audience and watched us on stage, they both were very jealous. They said, this is too strange. Besides my wife, Zain Bhikha, please.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Peace be with you all. It's really, really difficult to follow up on what Dawud said. And the song that he chose, I must tell you that he had a very different song planned 5 minutes before he went up. But alhamdulillah, I think he has the wisdom to choose his words very, very correctly. So it's very difficult for me to follow up on what Dawud said, but I think I would add to what he says from a personal point of view. I'm from South Africa. I'm born and bred there. And this is my 20th anniversary of singing these simple songs that will hopefully inspire the hearts. But it's also a 20th anniversary of our democracy back home. And 20 years ago, I voted for the first time in a free country, and Nelson Mandela became our president. And to pay tribute to those people who died in our struggle. It was in 1976, in June 16th, that many, many youth died in Soweto because they stood up against oppression. And the riots and the killing started because of a song that they were not allowed to sing. And I'll sing that song today. It's our anthem. It's called Nkosi Sikelele Africa, which means bless Africa. Lord bless Africa. Nkosi Sikelele Africa, malumphakanyiso pondolwayo, yizwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi Sikelela thina lusapho lwayo, yizwa imithandazo yethu. Nkosi Sikelela thina lusapho lwayo. Thank you. gives me great pleasure to welcome, back Dawud. Wharnsby. Give him a round of applause. He's the best right here and singing right here right now. This is a beautiful song that I asked him to sing with me many, many years ago. And it's a reminder that no matter where we are in the world, the struggles that we face, that we're never alone, that God knows the condition of each and every one of us. And that gives us great comfort no matter what we face, the struggles that we face. When you feel alone in this world and there's nobody to count your tears, just remember no matter where you are, Allah knows, Allah knows.
When you're carrying a monster load and you wonder how far you can go, with every step on the road you take, Allah knows. Allah knows. No matter what inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows. Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows. Allah knows. When you find that special someone, feel your whole life has barely begun, you can walk on the moon shouting to everyone, Allah knows. Allah knows. When you gaze with love in your eyes, catch a glimpse of paradise, and you see your child take the first breath of life, Allah knows. Allah knows. No matter what inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows. Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows. Allah knows. When you lose someone close to your heart, see your whole world fall apart, and you try to go on, but it seems so hard. Allah knows. Allah knows. You see, we all have a path to choose. Through the valleys and hills we go, but with the ups and the downs, never fret, never frown. Allah knows. Allah knows. No matter what inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows. Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows. Allah knows. 'Cause no matter what inside or out, there's one thing of which there's no doubt. Allah knows. Allah knows. And whatever lies in the heavens and the earth, every star in this whole universe, Allah knows. Allah knows. Every grain of sand in every desert, let Him know. Every shade of palm, every close hand He knows. And every sparkling tear on every eyelash He knows. Every thought I hide and every word I share He knows. Allah knows. We won't keep you from your dinner.
much longer. We'll just sing maybe a couple more songs. This next song it's called Allah's Grace, and I had the great pleasure of working with my good friend from France, Khalid. We call him the Gentle Giant. And mashallah, the only thing that's more beautiful than his voice is his heart. Give him a big round of applause. Khalid. And also joining us on stage is my good friend Vivek, who has been playing percussion for me for 10 years. Please give him a round of applause. And just give it a couple minutes for Khalid. And joining us later in the song is another good friend of mine, all the way from Baltimore in the US. He's probably the most amazing lyricist in terms of hip-hop music that I know, and we had the great pleasure of working together on this song and many other songs. His name is Khalid Ismail. He'll be joining us later. And yeah, the song is called Allah's Grace. Okay, Bismillah.
Assalamu alaikum.
It's a way of life brought to us by the messenger, best of mankind. Show us the way to Allah's grace. This is the deed of Islam. This is the deed of Islam.
يجود علينا بإحسان ويرزقنا من سماء وأرض.
Take a step towards Allah, He will come to you. He hears your prayer, so surrender.
Alhamdulillah,
Praise to Allah, thanks to Allah. Islam, Deen, Salam, sent to see God, best of mankind. Light of Muhammad shines far and times. Light of Muhammad shines far and times. We shouldn't be afraid to be strange, for blessed be the stranger striving for change, and we always looking for someone to blame. But look into ourselves and we'll surely find our way. It's a way of life brought to us by the messenger, best of mankind. Show us the way to Allah's grace. This is the deed of Islam. This is the deed of Islam.
He is the benevolent, the giving and merciful. He's so indescribable. His love is irreversible. His word undeniable. Lyrically untriable. Ultimately valuable. Eternally suppliable. Maybe inconceivable, but beautifully believable. The true reality. There's no similarity. Gave us more than charity. Peace and prosperity. Why did we never care to see if we can keep his clarity? Yes, he's uncomparable. Yet his parables are infinitely listed. Pictures couldn't give a good description. Depictions missing, but he created all the living in every dimension. And he inspired good. I'm given the giver of wisdom, devoid of any needs. Anything that he wants, all he has to say is be, cause he's the untouchable, infinitely trustable. His plan is unstoppable, power untoppable, the reliable, undeniable, greater than the physical, master of the mystical.
Show us the way to God's grace. This is the deed of Islam. This is the deed of Islam.
Thank you. I'm going to carry the evening. This is almost it's really a hope and a prayer that somehow as human beings we can find a way, irrespective of color or nationality or even religion, just to find a way to live together in peace. And someday it will happen, inshallah, if we all work together. The song is called Someday.
Across the place that's burning, by the fire of war we feel the most. Where is the rain that brings the mercy? Shower down and drench us to the bone. Salam.